Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Is anyone here? No one said anything. Usually, right before the chat, someone says something so that I know someone's here, but no one has. So, who wants to be first to say something in the chat for trivia? My chair sounds extra squeaky today. I don't know what it is. But yes, welcome to trivia time. How's everyone doing today in this December? I turned on the little water light, but I don't think you can see it. I think you can see it in my Titanic postcard glowing there. Oh well. But yeah, can you believe it's the end of the year already? It's already time for the year in review trivia. It's crazy. I have 100 questions for you guys about the past 12 months. Yeah, they are varying degrees of difficulty. Some are pretty easy, some are pretty hard. So I made it a nice, good little mix. Gosh, I hope my chat's not broken. Is anyone here? I see there's people here. Someone's already given a thumbs up. If you could do that, I would appreciate that. If you could. But yeah, we'll give it a moment for it to go. There's JJ. Hi, JJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today? It's a very quiet crowd today. My goodness, I'm not used to this. That's okay. We'll wait a little bit for people to arrive. I've got my fidgets here. If you're watching my Vlogmas, I'm doing a fidget calendar, a fidget advent. Hey, Manatee. So I've got lots of little things. I'm doing well, JJ. I hope you're doing well too. I know you weren't feeling well last time we chatted. I've got a little person I can stretch. And I've got my squishy cube. I've got all my fidgets here. And then I got this one today, a new little sticky that feels really nice. But yeah, I'll stop playing. I'll just do that all day. But anyway, I hope that this year treated you all well, considering all of the things that went down this year. My goodness, it's looking over the year in review, making little facts. It's like, man, a lot went down this year. Hey, Janice and Bayla and Bebe. Kisses to Bonnie and Jet Jaguar, who are literally in the corner right now. I wish I could show you. They're literally, I wonder if I can. I don't know. I'll try. I am hoping 2026 will be better too. Oh, you can see a Jet, but Bonnie's cuddled up alongside him over there in his little apartment. They are being super cute right now, but I wish you guys could see a little better. It's not a good angle. I should get a cat cam at some point to figure out. Once I figure out a better streaming setup. Yeah, they are sweet cats. They're very tired. We had lots of good play today. But yeah, I think in like a minute or so, we'll get started with the trivia questions. Let me get a drink of water real quick. I'm really thirsty today. I don't know. So yeah, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you've not done so already. Let's get the stream hopping today. So we got some good questions for you. Oh, hey, Victos, I didn't see you there. Hello, hello. It is green eyeshadow with a little bit of pink. I realized on my palette today that I've never used the pink on the palette as I was putting on my green because I always do green and purples. So I did a little pink. I hope you can see this camera is not the best when it comes to details like that. Thank you, JJ. Green and pink is so fun. Thank you, Manatee. It's really pretty. I feel like you can't see it as well, but Victus says, I do really like the pink. I'm a big fan of brightly colored makeup. Me too, Victus. I love glitter eyeshadows. There's glitter on, but you can't really tell it's glitter. I love glittery stuff. I love bright stuff too. I was just lamenting to the channel members how much like I don't have any fun doing like nude colors on my face, like nude palettes. It's boring. I want colors. But let's get started with some questions. Again, I have 100 questions about the past year. Whoever gets it first on my chat wins. Wins. So let's go through and see what happened around the world in 2025. Number one, Yoon Suk Yeol was removed from his position of president of South Korea on April 4th. What act did he do in December that led to his impeachment? What did Yoon Suk Yeol do last December that led to him getting impeached and removed from office this year? What did he do? I mean, there's a lot, but if you can sum it up. Martial law. Good job to JJ for getting that first. He declared martial law, and that didn't go down very well. But that is what kickstarted it. Good job, JJ, for getting the first question. Good job, JJ. Number two, the PKK declared a ceasefire in Turkey. What ethnic group does the PKK represent? The PKK declared a ceasefire in Turkey. What ethnic group does the PKK represent or is made up of? And it is the Kurds. Good job, Manatee, for getting that. They represent the Kurds of Turkey and beyond. Good job, Manatee, for getting that one. Number three, Canada entered a trade war with which country? Canada entered a trade war with which country? Going to talk a lot about this country during trivia today. Canada entered a trade war with the US. Good job to JJ for getting that first, with Janice right behind. It was the USA. There's a lot of things that happened that were results of things the USA did this year, but we're not going to get too much into detail with that for obvious reasons. Number four. Same with this issue. In June, Israel launched airstrikes against which country? Kalispera fire, bro. Again, in June, because they did a couple countries, in June, they launched airstrikes against which country? In June, Israel launched airstrikes against which country? In June, specifically. Which one was it? Any guesses? Any guesses? Is everyone too afraid to say? Ooh, I'm hitting buttons on my keyboard. I hope that's not doing anything. There we go. It was Iran. Good job to Manatee for getting that first. With Janice right behind, that was Iran. I think Lebanon was earlier in the year. But good job, Manatee, for that one. Number five, what did Mexicans massively protest in August? Huge protests across Mexico in August over what issue? What did Mexicans massively protest in August? What was it? Man, I'm so thirsty today. I don't know what it is. Also, it's snowing outside. It's so great. Again, if you give me a guess, I give you a hint. I don't know, sis JJ. Well, this is a uniquely Mexican, well, not uniquely Mexican, but a problem that's been going on in Mexico for quite a while now, a couple decades now. Happens in other countries, but Mexico is kind of famous for it. What issue could it be? What did Mexicans massively protest in August? Not the drought. No, nothing to do with the weather. It's not a climate thing. More of something that happens in Mexico that the government is not doing enough for. Corruption is getting there, Manatee. I think it's due to corruption that this issue is happening, that people are getting paid off so that it's not dealt with. What could it be? Again, it's very prominent in Mexico and a couple of other countries. Drugs are related to this issue. They fuel this issue. Cartels, yes. What are they doing specifically that people are mostly up in arms about? See, if you give me a guess, I give you a hint. We're gonna get there. I'm not just going to leave you guys hanging. Close, Manatee. There we go. JJ's got it. It's the amount of disappeared people in Mexico. How people are vanishing and it's not being solved. So it turned into a huge, huge protest in Mexico this summer. Good job, JJ. You get that one. Good job, good job, good job. Number 6 is a number. All right. This will be a number, it will be an amount. So again, if you guess the number, I will tell you higher or lower until we get to the right number. Okay. Out of the 193, it's not a percent. It's an amount. Out of the 193, you guys can't guess until I finish the question. It's like Jeopardy. Yeah, I have to say the full thing before I recognize it. Out of the 193 UN member states, how many now recognize Palestine as an independent state? A lot of countries recognized Palestine this year. What is now the total number of UN member states that recognize Israel? It is higher than 55. Recognize Israel, recognize Palestine. I think they all recognize Israel. It is higher than 90. Well, not all of them, most of them. Higher than 91. How many UN member states now recognize Palestine? More than 112? And remember, there's 193 UN member states, so don't say higher than 194. It is higher than 150. It is higher than 150. A lot of countries, like 8 or 10 this year joined. Less than 177. Less than 177, but higher than 150. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Less than 171. Less than 171. Less than 160. Less than 160. Less than 160. We're almost there. Less than 159. Oh, someone's about to get it. Someone's about to get it. It is 157. Good job, Firebro, for getting that right behind Manatee. Oh, Manatee was awfully close. But Firebro got that one first. 157 out of 193 UN member states now recognize Palestine. Isn't that wonderful? That is fantastic, especially Britain and France recognizing it, because this whole debacle at the end of the day is their fault, in a sense. And if you have to blame someone, anyway, moving on. But good job, Firebro, for getting that one right. Number 7. The European Spallation Source was completed this year, which is like a science study center. In which country is it located? Let me itch my nose real quick. Okay. The European Spallation Source was completed this year. In which country is it located? It's a huge research center. It is not Germany. It is not Germany. European Spallation Source. I imagine it's a place like where the Large Hadron Collider is, like they just do science. They're just doing a lot of science there. It is not the Netherlands. Not the Netherlands, not Switzerland. It's not near the Large Hadron Collider. Not Belgium. You guys are on the right track. You're in sort of the right area of Europe. Sort of, kind of. Bonnie's awake. Hey, baby doll. She's going to her little pillow on the floor. Oh, she's a cute girl. Not Norway. Oh, Norway's awfully close. Not Poland, not France. Norway's extremely close. Extremely close. It is Sweden. Good job to Manatee for getting that one. It is located in Sweden. Good job, Manatee. It's in Sweden. Number 8, the Strait of Messina Bridge was almost approved, which would connect mainland Italy with what island? The Strait of Messina Bridge was almost approved. There's my furnace. Sorry, it's cold. It's going to be on. It would connect mainland Italy with Sicily. Good job to JJ for getting that one. If they ever build this bridge, it would be the world's longest suspension bridge, period, full stop. But there's a lot of debate about the environmental impact and whatnot about it. So it was almost approved. It got shot down last minute this year. But yeah, it would connect Italy with Sicily by bridge. Interesting. Number 9. Oh, before I say this one, I decided this year to not do any questions about elections. Hey, Justin. Oh my gosh, it has been a long time. How are you, Justin? My goodness, good to see you. I decided this year I'm not going to do so and so was elected president of which country, who was elected prime minister of this country. Like, it's too boring, it's too repetitive. So I decided I would only do election questions if something significant happened as a result of that election. So, with that in mind, I'm doing well. Thank you, Justin. It's good to see you. Like I said, good to see you always. Do one. Oh, I'm going to do some. Don't worry, Fire Bro. Like this one, number 9. Sanae Takaichi became the first female prime minister of which country? Sanae Takaichi, which the name kind of gives it away, but became the first female prime minister of Japan. Good job to JJ for getting that first. Manatee and Vectos right behind. Japan has a female prime minister for the very first time in its history. Good job to JJ for getting that first. Number 10, I'm probably going to mispronounce this. Ne Jia 2 became the highest grossing animated film of all time. Which country produced this movie? Ne Jia 2 became the highest grossing animated film of all time. It is not, however, from Korea. It is not from Korea. What country made this movie? The highest grossing animated, it crossed over $1 billion. It is the highest grossing movie so far of the year in the world. It is pretty big. What country produced the movie? It is not India. Ne Jia 2, as I think that's how you say it. It's an animated film. I read the reviews. Apparently, it's a lot like Avatar in that it's absolutely beautiful animation, but the story's kind of meh. But that it is better than Ne Jia 1. It is for kids, so. And it is China. Good job to Mr. Cartmenis. Mr. Cartmenis for getting that first, right behind Firebro. It is a Chinese film. I'm just going to call you Mr. Good job, Mr., for getting that first. Number 11. Which country hosted the United Nations Climate Change Conference? Which country hosted the United Nations Climate Change Conference? Which country was it? A lot of these are which country, blah, blah, blah. It is not Belgium. It was Brazil. Good job to Mr. for getting that first. I almost deleted a bunch of questions by tapping my screen. That would be bad. Yeah, not NATO, the UN. Good job to Mr. for getting that first. JJ got it too. It was in Brazil this year. It was in Brazil. This next answer has 2 answers, so we'll see if we get someone who knows both or if we get 2 people who know one. Number 12, which 2 countries joined the Schengen area? Which 2 countries joined the Schengen area this year? 2 countries joined. What were they? Which 2 countries joined the Schengen area? Which means it's part of the EU where you're able to travel back and forth without a big hullabaloo. It is not England. It's an EU thing, so England is not part of it. Bulgaria is one of them. Good job to JJ with Justin right behind. Bulgaria is one of them. What was the other? And it was Romania. Good job, Justin. So that goes to JJ and Justin. It was Romania and Bulgaria. Good job, you guys. Romania and Bulgaria. Number 13 is important because this is going to come up in Monday's video. And now that fact that I said is no longer true. Which creature was found in Iceland for the first time this year? Number 13, which creature was found in Iceland for the first time ever? It was a mosquito. Good job to JJ. A mosquito was found in Iceland in October, which means that officially now every single country in the world has mosquitoes. How unfortunate is that? Well, hopefully that gets resolved easily, but good job, JJ, for getting that first. They found a mosquito in Iceland for the first time in history. Number 14, which country did the USA briefly pause aid to? I think in March. Which country did the USA briefly pause aid to? I have an itch right here, but I'm going to ruin my makeup if I itch it. There we go. And it was Ukraine. Good job to Ryan for getting that first. After that shenanigan, they stopped giving Ukraine aid, and then when they realized people didn't want that, they switched it back, and now Ukraine has aid again. Good job, Brian. Yeah, a lot of these will indirectly involve the actions of the U.S. Good job, Brian, for getting that one. The answer is Ukraine. Slava Ukraine. Number 15. Croatia reintroduced military conscription this year. How long are men required to serve in active duty? In Croatia, they now have military conscription again. How long do men have to serve active duty? It is less than 18 months. I should have warned you this was a number one. Less than 18 months, less than 2 years. Less than 2 years. That's Korea now. I think they have to do 2 years now. It is less than 12 months, less than 1 year. Less than 12 months. How long do all men have to serve active duty? It is less than 9 months, less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. How long do men have to serve active duty in Croatia now? It is less than 3 months. We're getting there, less than 3 months, but more than 1 month. It is 2 months. Good job, Justin. All men who, I guess, fit the bill have to serve 2 months in the military, which, you know what? That's not terrible. That's not awful. But I mean, 0 would be the right winner. But not a bad deal. If you have to do service, I guess 2 months is all right. But it also seems kind of pointless. But moving right along, I'm not going to criticize Croatia. Number 16. Protests were widespread across Serbia after a railway station canopy collapsed and killed 16 last November. What would protesters do for 16 minutes during the protests? What did Serbian protesters do for 16 minutes? It was like a specific 16 minutes every day to honor those who lost their lives in that event. What would they do during this protest? I'll read it one more time. Protests were widespread across Serbia after a railway station canopy collapsed and killed 16 last November. What would protesters do for 16 minutes during the protest? Not necessarily silence. There was something, it wasn't like a moment of silence. It was a little bit more profound than that. You don't know? Well, go ahead and give a guess and I'll give you a hint. Something that I've never heard. Lay on the ground is on the right track, but not quite that. It was not a die-in, but it's something very similar to that. You're on the right track, manatee. They wouldn't sit. They wouldn't sit. I was awfully close, JJ. They wouldn't sit, but they would. They would what? I'm gonna get some more water. They would stand still. Good job, JJ. They were known as the stand still protests. The stand still protests, where for 16 minutes they would stand completely still. It's very profound. Good job, JJ, for getting that one. Number 17, Iran ordered a mass deportation of 4 million people from which country? Iran ordered a mass deportation of 4 million people from which country? Which is apparently the entire population in Iran from this country. Iran ordered mass deportation of 4 million people from which country? It is Afghanistan. Good job to Justin for getting that one. They ordered all Afghans in Iran have to go, which is really sad because they're all refugees. But that is the world we live in, fortunately. But good job, Justin, for getting that one. They ordered all their Afghan refugees to go. But number 18, on a brighter news, what world-class museum opened on November 1st of this year? What world-class museum opened on November 1st this year? Let me adjust my seat. Well, thank you for little hearts. Appreciate that. What world-class museum opened on November 1st of this year, very recently? It's a museum I've talked about before on the channel. Let's start from where. All right, let's narrow this down. A very huge museum has been under construction for a long time, and it finally opened last month. It was in Egypt. What's it called? The Egyptian Museum. You know what? I'm going to give that to you, Amy, with bonus points to Justin because they got the name. It is the Grand Egyptian Museum. So that goes to Justin and Amy. So you put their answers together, you get the full name. It's known as the GEM or the Grand Egyptian Museum. Welcome, Amy. I'm happy to have you here. Don't worry about the spelling, Justin. It's okay. I know you're all typing or texting fast. The Grand Egyptian Museum is open. I talked about that in my Cairo video about how excited I was for that museum. It's finally here. King Tut has a new home, you guys, right by the pyramids. But number 19, Saudi Arabia began a defense pact with which country? So Saudi Arabia and this country both came to an agreement that if someone attacked one, they would both go after that country. It is not the US. Surprisingly not, considering it is not the US. It was Pakistan. Good job to Justin for getting that one. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan are now in a defense pact. Hello, Evil. You were here last time, I believe. Welcome back. Yes, it was Pakistan. Good job, Justin. Oh, you know what? We have a lot more people here now. Don't forget to give a thumbs up to this stream, okay? Hit that thumbs up if you've not done so already. I'd appreciate that. Number 20 has two answers. It is two countries. Let's see if someone knows the answer and gets both, or if we have two winners again. Number 20, which two countries had a violent border conflict between July 24th and 28th? For 4 days, these two countries had all-out conflict over their border demarcations, and they got it figured out. What two countries was it? What two countries was it? If you want to guess one, I'll give you a hint. It is not India, JG, but you are in the right part of the world. Hey, Alex, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate that. Yeah, good to see you, Alex. It is not Afghanistan and Pakistan, Justin. Not Afghanistan. It's not any of the Stan countries. I'll give you that. It's good to see Alex as always. Alex, I've just been, first of all, Evil got it. It is Thailand and Cambodia. Good job to Evil for getting, with Justin right behind. It was Thailand and Cambodia. Good job, Evil, for getting that one. Second, Alex, oh my gosh, I've been doing so much research on Romania for January, and I've been thinking about you. And being like, I wonder if Alex has been to any of these places. I wonder. I'm always thinking about you when I'm reading about Romania, Alex. Number 21. What alphabet did Mongolia begin to officially use this year? Yeah, I was reading about Poenari Fortress and how cool it is. The actual Vlad the Impaler castle. And I was like, I wonder if Alex has ever been there. Hi, traveler. Welcome. It is not Latin. Yeah, it'll be fun talking about Romania for the first week of January. But my goodness, it is Cyrillic. Good job to Justin. Mongolia now uses Cyrillic as of this year. Very interesting. Good job to Justin for getting that first with Manatee right behind. Good job, good job. Number 22, Morocco's Gen Z protests began in September. One of the offending issues, because there were many, one of the offending issues consisted of government spending on what? Morocco's Gen Z protests began in September. One of the offending issues consisted of government spending on what? What did they feel like the government was spending way, way, way too much money on? Among all the various other, like very typical protest issues that like other countries protest about, like corruption and what have you. But this was very specific about government spending. What was the government overspending on that it became a big, big issue? in Morocco again. We'll get to Nepal in a minute. It is not weapons, thankfully. My goodness, Firebro. It's hey, Keela Beretta was in Linz. That's amazing. I'm jealous. Not healthcare, Amy. It is sports. Good job, Justin. They were protesting the building of too many sports infrastructure things. Because I think they're going to host a FIFA coming up, right? But yeah, they were protesting sports infrastructure. Good job, Justin, for getting that one. Spending way too much on sports. Yeah, FIFA, exactly. This next one has two answers again, but I feel like you guys are going to get this. So that's okay, Alex. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. Happy New Year, because this is my last stream of the year. Happy New Year, Alex. Number 23. Which two countries agreed to a peace deal on August 8th? Firebro, you gotta wait till I finish the question. Which two countries agreed to a peace deal on August 8th? Finally, agreed to a peace deal. The day before my birthday on August 8th. It's Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Crazy. Not Israel and Palestine, mister. We wish, but nope. They've agreed to ceasefires. They've not agreed to peace since the founding of Israel. Armenia is one of them. Good job, Justin. It's not. And Azerbaijan. Good job, Justin, with the point tequila Beretta for the joke about Albania and Azerbaijan, which Trump accidentally said Albania instead of Armenia because he has dementia. But good job, Justin, for getting Armenia and Azerbaijan. Bonus point tequila Beretta. Number 24. Here's some football for you. Manchester City acquired a player from which country, making him the first person in the Premier League from this country? Watching the news lately, right? Yeah. Uzbekistan. Good job to Woody for getting that one. They acquired a player from Uzbekistan, the first Uzbek in the Premier League. Good job, Woody, for getting that one from Uzbekistan. I didn't write down his name, but all I wanted was the country. Good job, Woody. Number 25 is a number. It is someone's age. So we will play high and low, but it is an age, so I feel like we'll get it pretty quick. Speaking of Uzbekistan, Uzbek Yakovir Sindarov became the youngest person to win the Chess World Cup. How old was he? Yakovir Sindarov became the youngest person to win the Chess World Cup. He is older than 12, older than 18, younger than 41. Older than 18, younger than 41. Younger than 21. We're about to get, I knew this would go fast. Younger than 20. Uzbekistan will also get those trains. Favorite class. Interesting. Some train knowledge there. Looks like Justin got that one first at 19, but Vectos, Manatee, and Amy also got it right behind. He was 19. Good job, Justin. 19-year-old chess champ. Pretty cool. Good job, Justin. Number 26. Which capital city was awarded the European Green Capital? Which apparently it's a different capital city every year. Which was it this year? Which capital city was awarded the European Green Capital? What was the greenest capital city in Europe this year? It was Vilnius. Good job, Justin. On top of your green news, it was Vilnius. Good job, Justin. In Lithuania, of course. Good job, Justin. Number 27. Which country officially launched their transitional government on March 29th after a regime overthrow last year? Which country officially launched their transitional government on March 29th after a regime overthrow last year? It was Syria. Good job to Vectos for getting that first. That would be Syria. Difficult transition, but transition nonetheless. Good job, Kilo Beretta, as well. Good job, Vectos, for getting it first. It was Syria. Number 28. Nepalese Gen Z held a massive protest that led to the prime minister resigning after the government banned what? I feel like even my brother knew this one. Happy holidays, Farouk. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And it was social media. Good job, Farouk, for getting right in there. They banned pretty much all social media in Nepal. Massive protests led to a whole government change. Good job, Farouk, for getting that so fast. Good job, good job. Number 29. Belgium's new prime minister is the country's first from what ethnicity? Belgium's new prime minister is the country's first from what ethnicity? What is the ethnicity of Belgium's new prime minister? He is not German, but you're on the right track, Farouk. You're on the right track. Again, think Belgium. Think Belgium. He is not Dutch, Firebro. Kind of. He is Flemish. Good job, Farouk. There you go. He is Belgium's first Flemish prime minister. Good job, Farouk, for getting that one. Number 30. Which city hosted? Belgium mentioned. Hooray for Woody. Technically Dutch, but in Belgium, it's Flemish is the answer I was looking for. Number 30. Which city hosted the Eurovision Song Contest this year? Which this led me down a rabbit hole of different song contests around the world. We're going to talk about another one later. But there's like a bunch of different like official song contests based on Eurovision. I had no idea. But which city hosted Eurovision this year? Which city was it? Remember, whichever country won last year hosts it. So it was not Sweden. Sweden is not a city. Oh, it's raining. It's snowing here. It's snowing. I love the snow. I'm so excited. It'll probably start raining later and all the snow will melt, but I'm going to enjoy all the pretty snow. I think I know what you're trying to say, Justin. I think Justin's got it, but that typo was a little too typo-y. It was not Stockholm. It was not in Sweden. Basel. There we go. Good job, Justin. That's what I thought you were trying to say. It was in Basel in Switzerland. Oh, that's what it is in Dutch. How interesting. That's cool. But yes, Basel in Switzerland. Good job to... I just blanked Justin for getting that first. And number 31, which country won Eurovision this year? This time I want a country. Which country won Eurovision this year? The Eurovision Song Contest. Which country won it? I'm always like really worried that I'm not looking in the Basel blotto was a typo. Oh, that's what I thought. It's Basel with a Z in Dutch. That's close enough. And it was Austria. Good job to Amy for getting that one. Austria won this year. Good job, Amy. Number 32. Which country became the first to recognize the Taliban-led government of Afghanistan? One country. We talked about how many countries recognize Palestine, but one country recognizes Afghanistan's current government. What country is it? What's the one country? Typo's a little too tight. Hey, Gas Lamp, good to see you. I believe Justin's from the Netherlands, if I recall correctly. But Justin will tell us in a second. It's so hard to keep track. It is actually not Iran, Janice. Can you believe? It's not Iran. It was Russia. Good job to Justin. Russia is the only country that recognizes the Taliban government of Afghanistan. Absolutely wild, but good job, Justin, for getting that one. Number 33, Pope Leo XIV is the first pope from the United States, but he holds dual citizenship with which country? I didn't know this before researching this. This did not come up in the news when he was elected pope. He is not Italian. He's Peruvian. Good job, Woody. He has Peruvian citizenship. I had no idea. Good job, Woody, for getting that one. He is American with dual Peruvian citizenship. So interesting. Good job, Woody. Yeah, I didn't know that. Number 34. My cat's snoring. Oh, both my kitties are asleep. They're so cute. If you hear that, that's my cat snoring. AirHelp, which is a flight website, AirHelp ranked which city's airport as the world's best? According to AirHelp, which city has the best airport this year? I guess the one with like the least amount of complaints on their website. Which city is the best? Not Vancouver, not Singapore, believe it or not. That would be my guess, but it's not Singapore, not Amsterdam. It's Cape Town. Good job, Justin. The Cape Town airport is considered the best in the world, according to this source. Good job, Justin. Cape Town's apparently the least complainable airport in the world. Good job, Justin. Number 35. The UAE lifted its travel ban on which country? The UAE lifted its travel ban on which country this year? It's been apparently banned for a couple years, a decade or so, a while. But they lifted it this year. Which country is it? It is not Israel, not Kuwait. You guys are on the right track. You're in the right neighborhood. It's in that area of the world. Which country did the UAE lift its travel ban from? You're in the right part of the world. I didn't know about this. It's not Qatar. Not Qatar. You guys are on the right track. Keep it going. Keep it going. Not Jordan. Hey, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice Smola was here when you said Tokyo. Hey, Smola. It's not Jordan, but you're extremely close. Not Bahrain. Not Sudan. I think every country almost has a ban on Sudan right now. Not Turkey, okay, we're drifting too far. Not Turkey, not Somalia, not Syria, but you're awfully close. Not Iraq. It's Lebanon. Good job to Janice for getting that one. They had a travel ban on Lebanon. I assume for just the religious tolerance, the religious strife. But it was lifted this year, so that's great. Emiratis can now safely travel to Lebanon. Good job, Janice, for getting that one. Number 36. The animated film Jumbo became the highest grossing movie ever in which country? So this became this country's highest grossing movie of all time this year. It's called Jumbo. Which country is it? It looks pretty, it's like a fantastical little movie. It kind of reminds me of like Coco. It's not Spain. Not Spain, not Spain. Not Spain. It's not European. I'll give you that hint. It's not a European country. The film is called Jumbo. It is the highest grossing film in this country. It is not China. That was Nejia too. You already talked about that one. It became the highest grossing film of all time. It is Indonesia. Good job to Justin for getting that one. It is an Indonesian film and is now the highest grossing Indonesian film of all time. And it's another animated movie. Shout out to animators. Shout out to people making art, right? People making art. Can you believe that's a controversial issue nowadays? But anyway, way to go, animators. Way to go, Indonesia. Way to go, Justin, for getting that. Number 37. This year's winner of the Tour de France hails from which country? There's a loud motorcycle going by. Yeah, look at that. Goodbye, motorcycle. The winner of this year's Tour de France is from which country? Which country is the Tour de France winner from this year? I'll give you the hint that it's not France. It's not France. It is not France. Not the UK, not Denmark. It is a European country, so you guys are on the right track. It is European. Not the Netherlands, not Switzerland. Not the Netherlands, not Switzerland. You guys are on the right track. You're getting closer. Not Czechia. You're getting closer. I have no idea how to say your name. Sadide? Tell me if that's right. It is Slovenia. Good job, Justin, for getting that. He's from Slovenia. Slovenia. Good job, Justin. Good job, Justin. Slovenia. Number 38, the Teco International Airport opened, replacing the main airport for which capital city? That's how Google says you pronounce it, so I hope I'm saying it right. The Teco International Airport is now the main airport for which capital city? Which capital city in the world? North Hungary? Really, Beretta? That's what I don't know. That's what I read. That he's Slovenian. Maybe he's Slovenian, but he's from Hungary. Ooh, I don't know. That could be. And it is Phnom Penh. Good job, Justin. Justin's really on top of it. Good job, Justin. It is now the main airport for Phnom Penh. Good job, Justin. Replacing Phnom Penh International Airport, of course. Good job, Justin. Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh. Number 39. This one's pretty unfortunate. Which country amended their constitution to say that there are only two genders? Justin is on fire. Which country amended their constitution to say there are only two genders? It was actually not the US. Amending the constitution is like a huge deal in the US. It has not been amended in a long, long time, and it was Slovakia. Good job, Keela Beretta. Slovakia decided to add that to their constitution for whatever weird reason. If y'all want to hear my opinion, there are two genders, cisgender and transgender, and then there are multiple genders. Under cisgender, there's girl, boy, man, woman. That's 4. And then under transgender, there's so many. That's my opinion. Two genders, cisgender, transgender. You're one or the other, and then it branches out from there. But moving on, number 40. It's a small cultural region in South Moravia. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure. This is just what I read. Number 40, the European Court of Justice ruled that which country could no longer sell citizenship? Yeah, Justin, I can tell. Right, Vectos? You'd think, but no. Amending the U.S. Constitution is very rare to do. Very rare event. Very, very rare, but hopefully that will never happen here because I don't believe in gender, but I love all of my trans brothers and sisters and everything in between. Not Portugal, not the Vatican. Can you imagine if the Vatican sold citizenship? That would be outrageous. It was Malta. Good job to Justin. Justin knows their international news. Malta is no longer allowed to sell citizenship. But we'll talk in a bit about a country that is now selling citizenship. So hold on to that thought. But it's not Malta. Good job, Justin, for getting that one. Number 41. Which country had a nationwide blackout from October 18th to 22nd? Which country had a nationwide blackout from October 18th to 22nd? I remember this. This was so scary. I can't imagine a nationwide blackout. We had an internet outage the other night for like 20 minutes, and that set my nerves. I was already distraught from that. Not Spain. October 18th. I do remember about Spain, but I'm not talking about Spain. This wasn't Spain. October 18th to 22nd. This country had a nationwide blackout. Nationwide blackout. Which country was it? Not France. Yeah, Spain is partially. Yeah, I remember that, Smolo. It was like huge parts of Spain. Not Portugal. I think they had some issues with blackouts too, but this wasn't what I'm talking about. This was the entire nation was out of power for 4 days. It was due to their, not Lithuania, due to issues in their power. It's not a European country, by the way. It was not in Europe. It was Cuba. Good job, Vectas. Cuba had no power for 4 days. What a nightmare. My goodness. The entire country, because it's one thing if it's like one major city, but the whole country, and it's an island, so what are you supposed to do? You can't just hop over the border or anything. But good job, Vectas, for getting that. It was Cuba. Yeah, that must be horrific. But number 42. Jennifer Geerlings Simons became the first female president of which country? A fellow Jennifer. I love all Jennifers. Jennifer Geerling Simons became the first female president of which country? If you don't know, all Jennifers are psychically linked. I can absolutely tell a Jennifer in a crowd, and I've tried it and it works. And I've never met a bad Jennifer. Sorry if you guys know a bad Jennifer, but all of us, we're all just like, we're like the Borg. We're all and it is Suriname. Good job to Justin for getting that. She is the new president of Suriname. In the Dutch news, that's true. Justin would know that. In the Dutch news. Good job, Justin. She's the president of Suriname. Number 43. Which country hosted the Games of the Small States of Europe this year? Which country hosted the Games of the Small States of Europe? You guys got like a 1 in 6. What country is it? This tonight is who can get it before Justin. That's the game. Can you get it before Justin gets it? Justin's on a roll. And it was Andorra. Good job, Justin. Andorra hosted with Ryan right behind. So close. It was Andorra. Good job, Justin, for getting that first. It was Andorra. Number 44. Which country moved its digital identity program to a blockchain? Justin, don't take a break, Justin. It's fine. You're keeping it rolling. You're keeping it fresh. I appreciate it. Which country moved its digital identity program to a blockchain? Which is a little dubious. Talk more about things like that in a bit. But this is something we don't have in America, where all of your identity is digital. So you don't have like an ID card. You have it like on your phone, like an official thing. That is terrifying, right, Victos? This country's leader, I don't want to say what type of leader because that might give it away, is just an absolute crypto bro. It's not the UAE. Not the UAE. It's not an Arab country. Let's say that. It's not an Arab country. Yeah, this country's ruler is very much into like crypto stuff. Which country is it? Which country moved its digital identity program to a blockchain? Again, if you give me a guess, I give you a hint. So don't be afraid to guess. Don't be afraid to guess. If you give me a guess, I give you a hint. It is not Singapore, but it is an Asian country. So it's not Estonia forever. It's not Burundi, thankfully. My goodness, that would be disastrous. It is an Asian country. It is not Singapore. Is an Asian country. That's okay forever, no worries. I'll say it again. Which country moved its digital identity program to a blockchain? It is not Vietnam. You're getting closer. Not China. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if it was China? Oh boy, that would be horrific. It is not China, thankfully. It is not a country with a massive population. It is not Brunei, not Korea. Neither of the Koreas. Not Brunei, but size-wise, Brunei is not terribly far off. It's around that level. It's bigger than Brunei. Lots of places are bigger than Brunei, but not terribly so. Not Taiwan, thankfully, because that would also be disastrous. It is Bhutan. Good job too, Smola. Bhutan's digital identity scheme issue thing is now powered by a blockchain. That can only end poorly. Hopefully all goes well in Bhutan. But good job, Smola, for getting that. It is Bhutan. Number 45 has two answers. Let's see if anyone knows it, because it was big news this year, or if we'll get two winners. Which two countries legalized same-sex marriages this year? I should say one of them passed it last year and it came into law this year. But the other one passed it and became law this year. So which two countries officially began the process of same-sex marriage? Which two countries? I know Thailand was one. Good job, Justin. That was the one I heard. This other one I did not hear. But Justin got Thailand. Good job, Justin. And Justin got the other one. It's Liechtenstein. Good job, Justin. Yep, it was Thailand and Liechtenstein. Good job, Justin. Thailand and Liechtenstein. Yay. More countries. Keep it going. Number 46. Love is love. In September, the BBC uncovered a Russian plot to influence the election of which country? In September, the BBC uncovered a Russian plot to influence the election of which country? Forever says noise. Not Romania Forevers, but you're awfully close. Not Thailand. I didn't get into any of the Thailand politics stuff because it was so messy. I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to make any questions about what's going on in Thailand. Hey, Speedy, welcome to the Geo Dudes. Thanks so much for joining. You know what I'll do real quick? Because I'm doing Vlogmas right now, so I'm going to film it. Let me see. Hello. We're live right now. Here's what it looks like. Look, Speedy just became a member. Oh, it's blurry. There we go. Welcome, Speedy. You'll get to see yourself on Vlogmas tonight. Let's see what we're guessing. Which country was uncovered by the BBC that the Russia tried to influence their election? Small said, what country haven't? Forever's got it. It's Moldova. Good job, two Forevers for getting that one. It was Moldova. Moldova's election, which tracks, I think, but yeah. All right. There we go. Moldova. Belarus is an awfully good guess, right? Because it's like some of those Russian-y countries, right? Moldova. Number 47. In May, a junta dissolved all political parties in which country? Hey, Felix. Oh my goodness, good to see you. Enchanté. Bienvenue, Felix. Good to see you. And YT. Oh my gosh, it's L. Hey, L. Oh my gosh, it's been forever. How are you? They changed all of the little usernames. So I don't see your like preferred name. I see your like actual name. So oh my gosh, it's amazing. Got lots of good people here tonight. I'll repeat the question. It's really sad though. Number 47. In May, a junta dissolved all political parties in which country? Among other things, but they're pretty bad, so I'm not getting into it. It's like the least offensive thing they did. Smolla says, I just came back from a work trip to realize I was late for Viewer's Choice. Was going to ask for history of pets. History of pets, Smolla. Interesting. Well, you're a channel member, so I'm going to file that into Member's Choice in January. So I'll make that work. I'm going to add it to my calendar. There's going to be Velcro sound. There we go. Not Guinea. Not Guinea. I know there's a lot happening in West Africa, but you're on the right track, Justin. It is an African country. I need to get to my pens. Oh, goodness. I got it. All right. Add it to my calendar. History of pets. And that was requested by Smolla. There we go. Okay. Added to the calendar. It's coming in January. Let's do this back. Oh gosh, I need two hands. 1 second. Not Burkina Faso. You're welcome. History of pets. There we go. Okay. Not Burkina Faso, but you're awfully close, Justin. I think Burkina Faso was last year, but it's been going down in Burkina Faso. Let's be real. I don't think I made any questions about them this year. Susan. I think Justin means Sudan. There we go. It is not Sudan, but we will talk about Sudan in a bit. Not Sudan. You were awfully close with Burkina Faso, a little farther away with Sudan, geographically at least. I lost my place. Where was I? There I am. Okay, 47. 2024. Yeah. Not Liberia, L. Not Liberia, but you're in the right part of the world. It is Mali. Good job to Justin. Mali's been really going through it this year. Like many other countries, but good job, Justin. With Ryan right behind. Oh, sorry, Ryan. Justin got in there first. It was Mali. Number 48. Here's another protest for you guys. Protests in Madagascar, which led to a military coup, were originally triggered by what? What were the Madagascar protests originally triggered by? Yes, somewhere over there. Exactly, Justin. It's a slightly unstable part of the world sometimes. Protests in Madagascar, which led to a military coup, were originally triggered by what? We're also right on time. We're halfway through trivia and we're almost on question 50 of 100. So good job. Good job keeping me on track. What were the protests originally sparked by? Something that we actually already talked about. Power outages. Good job, Justin. Power and water. Good job, Justin. It was over power outages and water outages. Good job, Justin. Number 49. Japan built new merchant marine ships for transport between Suva, Fiji, and what other capital city? Speaking of, I did a video about Suva, Fiji yesterday if you want to check that out. But there's a new ship to transport people between Suva and what other capital city? Let's see who gets this. Japan built new merchant marine ships for transport between Suva and what other capital city? Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Kind of a hint there. What part of the world would you need transport between Suva? If you know what I'm trying to say. Any guesses? Remember, if you give me a guess, I give you a hint until we get it. Don't worry about getting the exact right answer. Take a guess. Not Tokyo, Elle. Not Tokyo. Not that far away. My goodness. Not New Zealand. No. But it is an Oceania city. It is a city in Oceania, but not New Zealand. Hey, Michael. Hello. It is not Sydney, Grover. It's not Australia. Besides, Sydney's not the capital of Australia. Not Jakarta, Elle. Nothing in Asia. It's in Oceania. Between Suva and what other capital city? Jakarta is going to be an answer to a question later, so hold on to that. Hold on to Jakarta. That's an answer way later in the quiz. What other capital city? Not Canberra. It's not Australia forever. It is not Australia. Transport between Suva and... You know what? I'm going to pull up a map. I want to see like how this ship goes. Because I read that. I'll keep guessing, Justin. You got it. Because I read that the ships transport every 6 months. Which seems wild. Do you think they would go? That's my answer for that future question. Okay, Elle, got you. That's okay, Grover. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Let me pull up a map of... Actually, I'll just do it on maps. Suva, Fiji. There it is. Let me see. Let me see. Let me pull up the answer. Actually, it's not coastal. That's true. Ellington, no. No. Let me see how far away they are. Oh, they're not terribly far apart. Why is it every 6 months? VK, search it up. It's like actually kind of close to Fiji. It's not that far. Vanuatu. Nope, not Vanuatu. It is not Papeete and Tahiti. You guys are circling the drain, though. You're getting there. Not Vanuatu, not Tahiti. We're getting there. What other countries are near Fiji? Is it a passenger ship? It is Tuvalu, but what's the city? I'm looking for the city, looking for the city. Yeah, it is a merchant marine ship line for transport. So I guess passengers and whatever else needs to get shipped between these two countries. What's the capital of Tuvalu? Who knows that? What's the capital of Tuvalu? What's the capital of Tuvalu? Tuvalu. Elle does not know. It is not Viaku. It's the capital of Tuvalu. Geography quiz. It's not Viaku. What's the capital of Tuvalu? Geography quiz. Who knows it? It's Funafuti. There it is. Good job, Justin. It's Funafuti. We got it. It's Funafuti. Good job, Justin. We got there. Good job. Good job. This next one has 2 answers. 2 answers. Listen, I warned you that some of these are very easy. Some of them are very hard. And we have a lot more hard ones coming. So get ready for that. But this next one has 2 answers. It is 2 countries. Which 2 countries agreed to a border between, well, I didn't write that very well, to a border, I don't know what I was trying to write. Agreed to their border, ending an ongoing conflict since 2022. Let me try that again. Which 2 countries agreed on a border? Oh, between them, I think I was trying to say. Which 2 countries agreed to a border between them, ending an ongoing conflict since 2022? Actually, I remember talking about this when I did a region. It is not Canada and Denmark. Not Indonesia and East Timor. So all good guesses, but you guys are super, super off. Super, super off. Which 2 countries agreed to a border between them, ending an ongoing conflict since 2022? Not India and Pakistan. We already did Thailand and Cambodia, but this is not the one we're talking about. They are not European. Not European countries. India and Pakistan's the closest one so far. Not Bulgaria, Romania. Nope. I should have probably put the date that they came to this agreement, but oh well. We'll get there. Not Sudan and South Sudan. Oh, that's going to go on for a long time. There's no end in sight for that border dispute. Which 2 countries agreed to their border between them, ending an ongoing conflict since 2022? Not Burma and Thailand. Not China and Nepal, Ben. That's going to also probably never get resolved. China's very stubborn about what is and isn't China. Let's just put it that way. But it is Asia. We are talking about Asia. Let's say that. We are talking about Asia. It is Tajikistan is one of them. So I'll give that to also. Also, I'm not sure what your name is. I'm going to call you also, unless that's very offensive. Not a very long dispute forevers, but one that's been like very unfortunate for like the peoples living in tiny villages along these borders. Because I covered one of these regions, and it was just wreaking havoc on like these little communities, like population 200, because they're attacking each other across the border. Not Turkmenistan. Kyrgyzstan. Good job, Justin, with L right behind. So that goes to also and Justin with L right behind. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Good job, you guys. Thankfully, that conflict is over. Number 51. Which country announced 51. Which country announced a scheme to sell citizenship, planning to use the profits to relocate the population to a new community? Actually talked about this last time I covered this country. Also was first. Also got Tajikistan. Wait, also said Kyrgyzstan. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice because it was a typo. So also wins that one. I'm so sorry, also. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan also won that one. It is an Oceanian country, also. Yes, my bad. My brain did not read that typo. Kyrgyzstan. As someone from there taught me how to pronounce it, Kyrgyzstan. It is not Kiribati, L. Not Kiribati, but you're on the right track. What was the question? So, one that would be flooded, that's a lot of them. It's not Fiji. Hey, user Gargantua. Oh my gosh. What was your name? Oh, it's in. Anyway, so I'm going to call you Gargantua for now. Sorry. I know you have a different name, but I can't remember what it is. Um, which country announced a scheme to sell citizenship, planning to use the profits to relocate the population to a new community? It is not Palau. Like relocate the entire population to a new community. I mean, I can't say any more without giving it away. So let me just say it that way. They are now selling citizenship to this country, which they've done before. It is not Tuvalu, not Papua New Guinea. They've done this before and gotten in trouble for it. And I think like the ICC made them stop. But this time they say we're selling citizenship. It's for climate change purposes. It's going to go back to helping people relocate in case they lose their home to climate change. It is not Samoa. Not Samoa. Not the Solomons. We're getting there. We're There's only so many countries you can guess in the ocean. It is Nauru. Good job, Michael, for getting that one. So what they're going to do, if you don't know, the entire center of Nauru is uninhabited because it's been overmined. So they're going to try to construct homes in that mess, but it's going to cost a lot of money. So they're selling citizenship to hopefully start trying to make the interior habitable. They won't be able to grow anything, but at least they will. Yeah, I know everything but Nauru, exactly. Hopefully they can relocate people away from the coast in case the waters start rising in Nauru. Yes, I didn't want to say that also because that would definitely give it away if I said it's my favorite to talk about. Good old Nauru. I could talk about Nauru all day. But I'm not. Moving on. Number 52. Which country produced its first musical film, The Adventures of Angosat? It is a pretty flag, right? It has the equator on it because they're just below the equator. Which country produced its first musical, The Adventures of Angosat? Which I hope I'm saying that right. I love musicals. I'm so happy with the Wicked films, you guys. And I don't really like Wicked the musical, but I loved the movie. I thought the movie was beautiful. Which country produced its first musical film, The Adventures of Angosat? I wonder if it's any good. I should watch all these movies. Neja 2 and Jumbo and The Adventures of Angosat, I think, are the only international movies I talk about in this quiz. Give me a guess. I give you a hint. It is not Iceland. It is not in Europe. It is not a European country. Not a European country. Produced their first musical film. It is Angola. Good job to Justin. Angola, yeah, African. It's good old Angola. Angola made its first musical. How fun is that? Good job, Justin, for getting that one. Angola. Justin needs their beauty sleep. You're very welcome. Happy New Year to you, Justin. Thanks so much for playing. Everyone's going to struggle now. Veer, there you are. My goodness. Hello, Veer. Welcome. I was wondering where Veer was, but you're here now. Wrong question, 53 out of 100, so you joined right in the middle. Happy holidays, Justin. Good night. Number 53. Which small country had to shut down multiple textile factories after the USA imposed a 50% tariff on it? Justin has no peer, says Gaslamp. I don't know. Veer's pretty good. Veer's got new books and they've been reading and we're locked in. I love that feeling. When you're just in a book, it's the best feeling in the world. Which year? This year. This is all about 2025. This year, the US decided that this country needed a 50% tariff and was leading to economic collapse in this country. So they changed it to 15% so that this country wouldn't completely fold because that's devastating. So yes, which small country had to shut down multiple textile factories after the USA imposed a 50% tariff on it. It was not Bangladesh. It is not an Asian country. I'll give you that hint. It's not in Asia. How small? Very small. Not like Andorra's, Liechtenstein small, but small. Not Fiji. It's not in Oceania. Not an oceanic country. So not Asia, not Oceania. Again, the question is, which small country had to shut down multiple textile factories after the USA imposed a 50% tariff on it? It is not Equatorial Guinea, but also is right. It is African. It is an African country. So think small African countries. I don't think Cuba has any tariffs because they don't trade with the US. Smaller than Burkina Faso, Veer. Not Togo. Not Togo. Not a fun person. I'm sure you're a fun person. Not the Gambia. Not that small, Veer. Not Rwanda. Not Eswatini, but not Eswatini. It's Lesotho. Good job, Vectos, for getting that one. It was Lesotho. Nearly completely crumbled over the USA imposing all of these tariffs. But thankfully, they revoked that huge one. It's ridiculous. Justin, go to bed. Justin, go to bed. I mean, stay if you want to stay. I don't control you, but you should go to sleep. Right, Justin. Justin came back for that one. Yeah, Vectus got it right behind Justin. Number 54, the vice president of which country was arrested after the president claimed that he supported a rebel faction? Trivia is hard to resist. I love trivia, if you can't tell. It's called FOMO. Just having FOMO. Oh no. Oh no, FOMO. But anyway, the vice president of which country was arrested after the president claimed that he supported a rebel faction? This country is also going through it, but they've been going through it for the past over a decade. It is not Haiti. It is also from Africa, Gargantua. It is also African. So it's not Haiti, for once. I don't think I actually have any Haiti questions this year. I didn't get to Haiti this year. It is an African country. If I said they've been going through it politically since 2011, that help. It is not Egypt. It is South Sudan. Good job to Veer. Pardon me, is South Sudan. Veer, you can stop guessing. You got it right off the bat. It was South Sudan. South Sudan. Not Sudan, but South Sudan. Jalaluddin, is it Yala or Jala or Jala? Let me know how I should say your name. Otherwise, it's going to be Jala. Number 55. Which country created its first marine protected area, which included the country's largest turtle nesting area? How is my foot? It is definitely better, but not better than I hope it would be. I hope it would be better than this by now, but it's much better. I've been having a whole foot saga. I'm on rest for the next 12 weeks, I guess like 10 weeks now. Not the Philippines, not Australia, but you guys are in the right part of the world, not Indonesia. It is a Pacific country, so not Argentina. Not Fiji, oh gosh, here goes fear. Not Fiji, not PNG. You're on the right track. Not Malaysia, not Singapore, not Tonga. You guys are on the right track. Keep going. Not Samoa. You're just going to get in trouble for spamming. Not Vanuatu, not Tuvalu. I guess so also, but I really like being outside. I'm really sad about it. I can't even go to yoga. I love my yoga. Not Kiribati, not Micronesia, not you guys are awfully close. Not Kiribati, not Micronesia, but not Kiribati, not Micronesia. Not Melanie, not Vanuatu, not the Solomons. Spamming country names. That's Veer's strategy. It's the Marshalls, and see, it worked because now Veer's got it. It's the Marshall Islands. Can you believe the Marshall Islands never had a marine protected area until 2025? That's wild, but good job, Veer. It is the Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands. Speaking of the Marshall Islands, number 56. The Marshall Islands repealed the Sovereign Currency Act, which removed what as legal tender? The Marshall Islands repealed the Sovereign Currency Act, which removed what as legal tender? Not the Australian dollar. I don't know how to give you a hint about this without giving it away. GBP, NZD, USD. Think my reaction to this answer is not the Swedish kroner. Not the euro. Not the euro. Coins? Gargantua learned about nuclear disasters in oceanic countries from my videos. I'm glad that awareness is out there because that needs to be known about. I'm glad that you learned that. Not the franc. Coins, says also. That's awfully close. That's awfully close. Bitcoin. Good job, Tavir. I'll give a bonus point also because I think that's what they were trying to say. Any cryptocurrency was legal tender in the Marshall Islands. Now no longer. You cannot use crypto as currency in the Marshall Islands anymore, thankfully. And on that same vein, number 57, which Latin American country also removed crypto as legal tender? Which Latin American country also removed crypto as legal tender? Not Bolivia, not Ecuador. Latin America. Well, I guess Latin America is Bolivia and Ecuador. Not Venezuela. Not Colombia, not Peru. Let's say which Central American country? Not Mexico. Not Paraguay, not Guatemala. Oh, I wonder if you guys don't know the story because it's El Salvador. Good job, Veer. El Salvador. We'll get you right behind. If you don't know, El Salvador's president is a massive crypto bro. He wants to turn a volcano into a crypto town where the volcano powers the little blockchain mining stuff and the whole town will operate on crypto. That's his biggest dream. So he made crypto and Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador, and this year they repealed it. Thankfully. Who thought we'd see the day? It is so damaging to the environment. My goodness. But yeah, who knew that we would see the end of crypto in El Salvador this year? That was not on my bingo card, but glad to see it. Number 58. A rebel group in the DRC invaded many cities with the help of the military from which country? A rebel group in the DRC invaded many cities with the help of the military from which country? Here goes Veer, not Mali, not Chad. It's Rwanda. Good job, Veer. Good guess to Veer. It was Rwanda's military. Gargantua got it right off the bat. With, I guess, overall Russia. I guess Russia's the overarching problem. Oh, not a guess, says Veer. Oh, nice. Good job, Veer. Rwanda's always ready to invade. You know what? You're not wrong. Rush-ish. That's a good way of putting it. Let's talk about some horrible news. Number 59. It was on the news. That's true. Donald Trump pardoned which country's former president who was accused of drug trafficking and money laundering? I'm not going to repeat some of those words in case this gets the stream demonetized. But my country's unfortunate president pardoned which country's former president? So it's not Israel, not Brazil. It's not Bolsonaro. This happened kind of recently. This former president was arrested here in the U.S. for bringing in things, and Trump pardoned him. One of the biggest bringer of things, like, in the world. It's wild. It's not Panama, but you're on the right track, Fear. This happened like a few weeks ago. Which country's former president, he was kicked out the country. He was under arrest here in the U.S. for what he was responsible for bringing in. Which country was he president of? Which country was he president of once upon a time? Before he got booted out for being super corrupt. Not Colombia. But you're getting there. Go a little bit north. Honduras. Good job, Michael. It was Honduras. It was the former president of Honduras. Honduras. Beautiful Honduras. Number 60. 40 more questions to go. Let's get through these. We're about to hit some hard ones, so. That's true also. I have to hear about it all the time. You know that he went on national TV last night and just ranted and raved about how great he is? Frontal temporal dementia. Number 60. Which country announced that the steel pan is their national instrument? Here's some good news. This country declared a national instrument, and it's the steel pan. What country is it? Oh, yeah, Veer. Absolutely. It is not Jamaica, but you're on the right track here. It is Trinidad. Good job, Veer, for getting that one. Trinidad and Tobago's official instrument is the steel pan. Bonka bonka. One with a good cuisine. Yes. Steel pan is such a vibe. It instantly just puts me at my mental beach. I love my mental beach. Number 61. Which country changed its official language from French to Hausa? Which country changed its official language from French to Hausa? A week for the pan flute. Oh my gosh. Yes. It is not Zambia. It is African. Hausa is spoken in Africa. It is not Chad. See, now I wonder, because before this country's name would get blocked, but then it stopped. So I wrote this question just to see if this country's name, can I write it? You can try. It used to be blocked in my chat, which is really weird, but I get it. You might have to put periods between the letters in case it is still blocked. I mostly wrote this to see if you're saying it. Okay, so it's blocked. I'll just say it then. It's Niger. And I'll remember that. Niger is blocked again on YouTube, even though it's an actual country name. But I get it. It is Niger. I thought about, like, should I say, I can't see it, Veer, and I have live chat on. Let me see, I've got a little notification about a channel member joining, but nope, I cannot see. So it's blocked again. So I almost made it Niger change their official language to what? Nope, don't see it. So Niger's blocked once again. Unfortunate, but I get it. Moving on, number 62. I'll give that to Veer, I guess. Which Pacific country announced that Christianity is their official religion? Which Pacific country announced that Christianity is their official religion? It is Papua New Guinea. Good job to Veer, who knew it right off the bat. I suppose so also. That is unfortunate. But yes, Papua New Guinea declared that they are officially a Christian nation. Saw the news article. Good job, Veer. I didn't until I researched this. Number 63. Which country declared an outbreak of Marburg virus in January? Which country declared an outbreak of Marburg virus in January? Marburg's very similar to Ebola, so it was thankfully not China. That would have been devastating. Marburg's very similar to Ebola. So I feel like everyone knows what Ebola is, right? Right? Not Ethiopia, Veer, but you're on the right track. Not Ethiopia. Not Eritrea. Not Somalia. Not Japan. Goodness, Veer. Not Eswatini. Not Djibouti. You guys are in the right part of the world, though. You're in the right corner of Africa, not Mozambique. You guys are dancing around it. You guys are dancing around this country. Not Kenya, also. Not Kenya, but Tanzania. Good job, Gargantua, with L right behind. Man, L's always right behind. Is Tanzania. Good job, Gargantua. Number 64. France began. Okay, so this is going to be a little complicated. So these next three questions are going to be complicated. France began a military withdrawal and returned 2 military bases in which country? France began a military withdrawal and returned 2 military bases in which country? Not New Caledonia. That'll never happen. Not Mali, not Algeria, not Chad, not Morocco, not Tunisia, not Tajikistan. Veer's on the right track. It is African. I should say these next 3 questions are going to be about very similar events that happened in Africa. Cake Rocks, congratulations on finishing your finals. I hope they went well. Again, the question is, well, it's fine. Cake Rocks, you did it. France began military withdrawal. Veer. France began military withdrawal from which country? And returned 2 military bases. 2 military bases. Not Mauritania. It's not Burkina Faso. Not Guinea. We're getting there. Not Guinea-Bissau. It's not French. Not Libya. That's a whole other. Not Gabon. Not the CAR. Not Benin. Not the Gambia. Gambia is not French. It's Senegal. Good job, Tafir. It was Senegal. France is withdrawing from Senegal. Number 65. In January, France completely withdrew from which country, returning its only military base? In January is the key here. France completely withdrew from which country, returning its only military base? And Veer got it. It's Chad. Good job to Veer. France is completely out of Chad. Oh, good night also was in Poland. It's very late over there. Yes, next trivia stream will be sometime in January. This is the last stream of the year, hence the question. So thanks for joining us also. It was wonderful to have you. Okay, listen carefully. Number 66. In February, France completely withdrew from which country, returning its only military base? Veer gets to see their cats next week. That's the best. Not Mauritania, not Mali. France withdrew from a lot of African countries this year, which is wonderful. Or bad, depending on the situations there. But I think in this situation, it's pretty cool. France is getting kicked out of Africa. Yes, they certainly are. They're untangling that mess over there. In February, France completely withdrew from which country, returning its only military base? Not Burkina Faso. Think French countries now. Who knows their French? West Africa. It is Ivory Coast. Good job, Veer, with L right behind as usual. It is Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire. Moving off of that topic, number 67. This one's very sad. The United States began using which country's mega prison as a concentration camp for alleged gang members? Now that's full of a lot of buzzwords, so I'm not going to repeat the question, but I feel like this was in the news a lot that someone should know it. It is not Guantanamo, it is El Salvador. Good job to Veer. It is El Salvador, very sadly, and I feel like the stories out of there are just beginning. They're going to be terrible, so we're going to move right along. You did write something, Veer. Number 68. Which country was ranked last by the Press Freedom Index? El Salvador. El says El Salvador. That's your country. El Salvador. Which country was ranked last by the Press Freedom Index? It was not the DPRK. Can you believe? Not the USA. Can you believe? Not North Korea. Not Russia. Ranked last in Press Freedom Index. Not China. Not Turkmenistan. It's Eritrea. Good job to Veer. It was once again Eritrea, the worst country to be in if you are a journalist or a member of the press. By far. Eritrea. Good job, Veer. I mentioned that in my last video. I covered Asmara on Tuesday. Be sure to check that out. Yes, that tells you how bad it is in Eritrea. That DPRK is more. Isn't that wild? That's wild. Number 69. A separate government was created in this country called the Government of Peace and Unity to try to end the ongoing civil war. A separate government was created in this country to try to end their civil war. It's called the Government of Peace and Unity, not South Sudan, L. Not South Sudan. Well, it's Sudan. Good job, Veer, with Gargantua right behind. Sudan. There's apparently a new government, rebel government set up to try to end the civil war, which is desperately needed over there. North Sudan. Yes, Elle, I read that they're considering changing their name to North Sudan. I don't know about that. So good that's working right here. Anyway, number 70. In October, an assassination attempt was uncovered against President Daniel Noboa of which country? In October, an assassination attempt was uncovered against President Daniel Noboa of which country? Give me a guess. I give you a hint. Don't forget. I think Gargantua was trying to say Gargantua was writing very fast. Pretty sure they've got it. But my goodness, that is a typo for the ages. There we go. Try again. I am seeing some Veer, I believe. Ecuador. There it is. Vectas got it. But I'll give a bonus point to Gargantua because I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to write. But it is Ecuador. Good job, Vectas. It is Ecuador. Number 71. Hurricane Melissa became the strongest storm to ever strike which country? Sorry, Gargantua. You get a point. Yeah, you might, Veer. It might think that you're spamming, but you got this one. It is Jamaica. Good job to Veer for getting that. Jamaica had its strongest storm in history this year. Very devastating to poor Jamaica. But number 72, which country declared which country declared a medical crisis after revealing that hospitals had major supply shortages? Which country declared a medical crisis after revealing that hospitals had major supply shortages? It is not Palestine. It's not in Asia. Not Yemen. Not in Asia. Not an Asian country. I was reading, what happened. Turns out the USA was supplying its medical supplies, and then it stopped supplying them. But thankfully, India stepped up to help this country get its medical supplies. Not Suriname, not Belgium. It is African, yes. It is an African country. So it's not Turkey. This country declared a medical crisis after revealing that hospitals had major supply shortages. Namibia is pretty close, Elle. Namibia is closer than every other guess. Not Angola, not Kenya. It's Botswana. Good job, Gargantua. It was Botswana. Thankfully, it's over, thanks to India stepping up, but poor Botswana. That's so sad. But number 73, more positive news. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah became the first female president of which country? Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah became the first female president of which country? It's Namibia. Good job, Felix, or is that Felix? I can never tell. Felix. It is Namibia. Good job. Namibia. Good job, Felix. Number 74. This is also sad. The United States deported 15 men to which African country where they promptly disappeared. Very sad. This country says, oh, they're in prison, but they won't say which prison. So they're just missing. Very, very scary. What country is it? It is not Chad. Not the CAR. Oh, I'm so glad, Veer. I'm glad you liked it. It's not Liberia, Oliver. I know there's a couple of African countries that the USA is deporting to. This is one of them. Uganda's one of them, but it's not this one. It's not Kenya. Not Zimbabwe. You're getting closer, Veer. Not Rwanda. I know they're deporting to Rwanda too, but it's not that country. Not this one, at least. Not Zambia. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not South Africa. Not Lesotho. Not Lesotho, but not Botswana, not Mozambique. Not Lesotho, but I'll give that to Oliver. It's Eswatini. I think that's what Elle was trying to say there. It's not called Swaziland anymore. It is Eswatini, but I'll give that to Oliver. Good job, good job. It is Eswatini. Very scary. Number 75. This just happened a few weeks ago. Which country experienced autocorrect. Sorry, Elle. But Oliver got it first anyway. Which country experienced a coup d'etat on November 26th, hours before election results announcements? Which country experienced a coup d'etat on November 26th, hours before election results announcements? It's very recent. Not Ivory Coast, Oliver, but you're in the right part of the world. Yeah, I heard about this, but then when I was writing the question, I went and read in detail about what's going on, and it's like really shocking. It is not Mali or Chad, not Ghana, definitely not Cameroon. We're going to talk about Cameroon later, though, because they had an election this year. Not Senegal, but you're in the right part of the world, Gargantua. You're nearby. It is Guinea-Bissau. My goodness, Veer. I'll give that to Veer and bonus point to Gargantua for getting Guinea-Bissau by itself. It was Guinea-Bissau. Good job to Veer. Guinea-Bissau. Now, this is really interesting. Number 76. Which country enacted the My Afro Origins law, allowing anyone with descent from that country around the world to apply for citizenship? I see, Veer. I see. That's pretty clever, actually. I understand now. That's not a bad idea. But listen to this. Anyone who claims ancestry from this country, it's called the My Afro Origins Law, which gives you a hint about where this is. But if your ancestor was abducted and sold into slavery from this country, and you have like the genetics to prove it, you can apply for citizenship there now. Isn't that neat? It is not Ghana or the Gambia, but you're in the right part of the world. Sounds like something Ghana would do, but it's a neighbor of Ghana. Not Sierra Leone, not Nigeria, not Ivory Coast. We're getting there. You guys are in the right neighborhood. In the right neighborhood of countries. Not Togo. Not Togo, but Benin. Good job, Veer, for getting that. It is Benin. If your ancestors came from Benin, no matter where you live, you can apply for Beninese citizenship. Pretty cool. Number 77. Speaking of Togo, by the way, this is a number, so we'll play high and low. Togo elected Jean-Lucien Savidi-Tove as president, making him the oldest person ever to be elected in the country. How old is he? We do all come from Africa. That's so true. He is less than 90, thankfully. He's older than 77. He is older than 85. Actually, he was 85. Oh, I just ruined it. During the campaign, he was 85. So now how old is he? Not 87, 86. I just ruined it. He was 4 days from turning 86 when he was elected. You're welcome. I totally messed that one up. But he was 85 while he was campaigning. Isn't that wild? But it gets worse. Number 78. Paul Biya is currently the world's oldest president in the world at age 92. In what year was he first elected president of Cameroon? He is 92. I didn't realize Paul Biya was 92. And he got reelected this year. Reelected. It was older than 1985, but sooner than 1980. He has been president of Cameroon longer than I've been alive. 1982. Good job, Veer. He was elected president of Cameroon in 1982, and he's been reelected ever since, including this year. He is 92 years old. It's time to go home. It's time to go take a nap. Like, my goodness. But here's some sports news. Number 79. Which country hosted the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup? Yeah. Cameroon needs some democracy. Once we find some oil. Oh, you're so right, Gargantua. Oh, my goodness. Which country hosted the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup? Did you know that was a thing? It was surprisingly not Brazil or Argentina. Surprisingly. But I think Brazil won it, so. But it was not hosted there, Ryan. It was not the US yet. It probably will be one day, let's be real. Which country hosted the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup? It was not Mexico. Oh, absolutely, Veer. You know they all do. You know all these old world leaders do. It is not Europe. Okay, it's not in the Americas. It was not in Spain. It's not in Europe either. Not in the Americas, not in Europe, not Thailand. It's also not in Asia. It's not Australia. It's not Oceania. I think that narrows it down. It was the Seychelles. Good job, Gargantua. It was in Seychelles. What a wonderful place to go play soccer. It was hosted in Victoria. That sounds great. So yes, good job, Gargantua. It was in the Seychelles. Number 80, which it's gonna start getting easier in about 4 questions. So don't worry. Number 80, which country was reinstated to the African Union on May 1st? Which country was reinstated to the African Union on May 1st? I'm going to sit up. I'm sinking into my chair and it's going to hurt my back.